tried to warn them. They didn't listen.
Yeah!
Every week, the Hoffman Show goes into the belly of the beast.
We read those comments, baby.
Never read the comments.
All right, this is how we do it. You leave a comment at youtube.com/@CraigHoffman. We also check at the Team 980, and we also occasionally check the episodes of Take Command at 1067 The Fan. The full episodes live there, and we go through the comments, and we pick the ones that are worth responding to on the radio, and we do it here on the radio. So here we go. Anthony, I think that we can bring the music down just a hair. It is a great beat, but I think I feel like I'm shouting, I'm yelling, and I'll probably yell at someone, but it doesn't have to be at the music. All right, Jacob Kemper, 4086, says, in response to the Sam Howell discussion that we had yesterday, where the question was, has your confidence in Sam Howell dropped? We put up my take as well as a bunch of the callers on my page at Craig Hoffman. It says, my confidence in him is the same as it was when he made his first ever start, in the last regular season game we played. The kid is tough. He has a live arm and better than average scrambling skills. Or, ... Anthony, I need you to hold on to your seat for this one. The comparison that's about to be made. I need, literally, buckle in. Yeah, you buckled in for safety. The kid is tough. He has a live arm and better than average scrambling skills. Or, Joe Theismann.
Yo, what? Are you serious?
Some people type this stuff on the internet with their name on it. Jacob Kemper, you're comparing Sam Howell to Joe Theismann through 2 starts? Someone who, had Lawrence Taylor not shattered his leg, would have been well into the Hall of Fame. Did Theismann make... I don't think Joe made the Hall of Fame, only because his career got cut short. Am I making that up?
I think you're right, but there's a thing called Google, so
yeah, career history, career highlights. Yeah, no, I don't believe he made the Hall of Fame.
He's in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Right. Would have probably gone to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but didn't play pro football long enough. Continuing out, Sam will do his job. He will learn and grow, and if we compare him to other good QBs in their first year, he will grade out higher than most. We need great defense, a great running game, and solid O-line play. Howell and those wide receivers will do what they do, and as things come together, they will do it at a high level. The funny thing is, I think this is a great comment outside of the Joe Theismann comparison. We can relax on that, but will he grade out better than a lot of young quarterbacks? Yeah, a lot of young quarterbacks stink early on. Peyton Manning was awful as a rookie. Now, do I think Sam's going to be turned into Peyton Manning? No, I absolutely do not. Peyton Manning's one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks to ever put on a uniform. But if Peyton can struggle with his processing ability and everything that he had going for him as a prospect in his rookie year, then why do you think that Sam Howell in his first full year as a starter is not going to struggle? Like, it's going to be up and down. There are going to be struggles, and that's okay. Black Health and Wealth Show says, Craig, here's what I would love to know. Would those who have lost confidence in Sam rather have his performance from last Sunday, or would they prefer the performance of Joe Burrow, Kenny Pickett, or maybe Daniel Jones? I believe Sam is going to be fine in time. Let's revisit this at the end of the season after he has a full year of starting under his belt, but you will probably make it a weekly segment. We, of course, will evaluate Sam every single week, but I don't think the has your confidence waxed or waned in Sam Howell is going to be a weekly segment for us. That feels recklessly irresponsible. Or actually, it really just sounds lazy. We can do better than that. But as far as kind of the substance of the comment, in terms of comparing it to Burrow, Pickett, or Daniel Jones, like, I don't really believe that's super valid either. Like, of course you wouldn't want them to have those performances, but it was against different defenses under different circumstances with different O-lines and different receivers and different coordinators. And it's just this is the thing that I'm almost hesitant to keep coming back to this, because then what's the point of doing the show? But it's such a week-to-week league that I actually enjoy I guess this is the point of the show. I enjoy the look-back analysis more than I do the previews, because I think it's more interesting. Because the previews go up in smoke instantaneously. Like, sure, you get some stuff right, and it helps refine your analysis, and you learn things as you go, and you get a bigger file, and you become better at the analysis, and hopefully better at the predicting and all those things if you pay attention and study and do the things that you should do to sit in front of a microphone for 3 hours and talk sports every day like I do. But realistically, there's so many factors, including just the fact that humans have good days and bad days, that it's really hard to do the prediction thing, and certainly to take data, things that happen on the field, not numbers necessarily, but like the results, and carry them into the next week, because half of them or more don't apply. Because, if you've got a quarterback that actually, there's data to prove this, or maybe it's a comfort thing, whatever. He's really comfortable throwing to his right. He doesn't really like as much throwing back to his left. And you have a really bad corner on the outside right one week and a good one on the left, or the coverage is different. He's comfortable throwing against cover 2 and 2 high looks, but is really struggling with cover 3 looks or match looks or whatever. Like, there's so multifactorial that if the right factor changes in a dramatic way, all of a sudden, like, Sam Howell is not better than Kenny Pickett or Daniel Jones based off 1 week. He might wind up being better than them, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be better than Joe Burrow, but he was last week. That's the NFL. And so it's a week-to-week league. What do they say? NBA, it's a make-or-miss league. The NFL, the make-or-miss league, it's a week-to-week league. Doker, who I've had an interesting take here, but also has been very, very nice in the comments, and Anthony Doker 3340 wonders why we don't have more subscribers and more comments on our videos.
A great question.
I don't know. I mean, I think we're doing pretty well. We're pushing. I think within the next couple of weeks we'll be at 3,500 subscribers on Craig Hoffman's channel, and we've only been doing this for like 8 months, and we've only been streaming on the Team 980 for like 2.5. So I think we're doing okay. But I agree, we should have more. Tell your friends, get them to go. Say like, hey, subscribe right there. In fact, if you're watching this on demand right now, then hit like, hit subscribe. And if you're watching this live on the Team 980 right now, hit like and hit subscribe. And if you're listening on the radio, then pay attention to the road. But later, pull out your phone and like and subscribe. Anyway, the point of this comment was not that. That was another comment he left. Very disappointed after seeing him, meaning Howell, play. There are things I thought he could do that he can't, and he is not a natural. I thought there was no way a fifth rounder should be starting, but the fans that know UNC and Brock Purdy had me believing there maybe was a chance. Now I see Ron screwed up the decision. Ultimately, it won't be long before even his defenders know. Then he says, on this one, you guys do a great show, by the way. That actually makes me wonder, are we doing a great show? Because I have questions about Doker's judgment here. I think it's important to understand where Howell is from a strength and weaknesses point right now, and what can improve and what is kind of inherent into who he is going to be. I think Sam, in the long term, will not be a premier guy seeing all the throws from the pocket. And yes, that is because he is 6 feet tall. And he's going to play behind linemen that are 6'2", 6'3", and occasionally he's just going to miss stuff because a guy pops open, and it happened to happen through a lane of vision where all Sam Howell sees is the back of a helmet. That's not really super fixable. He will. It was actually interesting today. Howell talked about how his favorite quarterbacks were Drew Brees and Russell Wilson growing up. Two of his favorites. Obviously, he'll play Wilson this weekend, but Brees was a guy that was masterful at moving around and manipulating the pocket so he could see, even though he was obviously very short. Wilson kind of infamously did or succeeded without being able to do that. He just found certain windows or had trust in certain guys and scrambled and did it a different way. I think Howell's a little bit of both. I think he'll take some of what Brees did and some of what Wilson did and hopefully turn it into great. But like, both those dudes are going to the Hall of Fame. So to think that he's going to do it at that level, I think is a bit out over your skis. The stuff that will get better, though, is he will see what he can see faster. And that's the part where if you're taking what he was on Sunday and thinking that's who he is and who he will be forever, like, that's on you, not on Sam. That's you not understanding that the more you see stuff, the faster you'll be able to process it. And that when you fumble inside your own red zone, or inside your own 20-yard line, because you tried to do too much, that if you simply don't try to do too much, which is a lesson he's already said he's learned, then you won't make that mistake again. So I think there are areas where, his natural talents, his arm strength, his quick release, his scrambling ability, and when I say his scrambling ability, not just that he's willing to run outside the pocket, like that touchdown run's pretty special. There's a lot of quarterbacks who would have just run, and a lot of ball carriers who would have streamlined for the end zone, the pylon, and Sam to see the cutback lane and have the actual physical ability to make that cut, it's pretty good. So there's certain things along those lines that I think are going to be beneficial for him moving forward. Had to sneeze, Anthony. In this home studio, I don't have a cough button.
I was about to say, yep. You get a pass.
Did I do a good enough job of getting away from the microphone that I avoided a fine?
Yeah, I think the effort was there for sure.
Okay, there's only so much I could do. I just had to duck out of the way. I don't have volume control. I did. There was one point that I think we were mid interview with someone on a phone call, and I unplugged my cable because I knew I had to cough. So my dedication is high. I'm just letting you know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the extent I will go. I didn't have time there, but that's the extent I will go to not cough or sneeze on the air.
That's some good, what should I say?
Discipline?
Yes. Thank you.
And so what's your excuse?
I haven't done it in a long time, Craig.
That is true.
I have not done it. Ever since we've implemented this fine system, I have definitely been on my P's and Q's when it comes to coffee.
We literally implemented the fine system so you would stop doing that.
Yep.
And you haven't suffered that fine since. Maybe fines are a good system of punishment.
Yeah, they are.
Even if they result in you buying yourself lunch.
Yep.
All right, back to the comments. Leave yours at Craig Hoffman. Victor Jolly 2253, who I think is Anthony. That's Vic and Akakeek, right? Frequent caller to both stations.
I don't know his last name.
I think when he shows up on the call screener, that's him.
It might be.
Which I wouldn't put that out there if he did not put that on.
Oh wow, okay.
On YouTube.
Yeah. So I guess it is him.
I think that's him.
Yeah.
So Victor Jolly 2253 says, I'm interested to see how Sam develops week to week. Sam has great talent above, say, Kirk Cousins when he started, but not elite talent. If the offensive staff insulates him, that should expedite his development. I agree with that part. I flagged this comment because I want to talk about the word talent real quick. Mental processing speed is a talent, and I don't want to say I'm sick and tired because it's 2023 and I'm about to say something about Kirk Cousins in Washington, D.C. I will have the self-awareness to not be fighting a Kirk Cousins battle from 8 years ago. But what makes Kirk real good and why he's thrown for 4,000 yards, a whole bunch in the NFL, and won a bunch of games, even if he's had his shortcomings and but, is he sees the field very well, and he's very accurate. And those things are talent, even if they are not measured with a stopwatch or a radar gun in terms of how strong his arm is. His arm is stronger than a lot of people wanted to give it credit for, but he doesn't have the arm that, say, Howell has. Sam does. Sam has a cannon for an arm. He's got pretty good speed. He's got good quickness, good toughness as a runner. He moves well. He's got great demeanor. And I think that's a talent too. There's a lot of stuff that is a broad spectrum of talent, but the ultimate talent as a quarterback, as long as you have prerequisite levels of the rest of it, like your arm isn't too weak or you're not too slow or whatever, is how fast do you make decisions. And that's where Sam, and by the way, there's a coordination element that I think comes in a lot higher than people want to give it credit for. They'll get to in a second. But decision-making wise, Sam's a work in progress there. The good news is that is a skill that can be improved upon. But naturally, Kirk is more gifted in that area, which is why he's been incredibly successful as a fourth-round pick that is now a bona fide starter and has been a top half starter in this league for the better part of a decade. The coordination piece, though, is also interesting. Like, how do you marry your feet to your eyes, to your decision-making, and ultimately your ability to get a throw off? And that is something else that I think Kirk is pretty good at and was obviously drilled into him early on in his professional career with Kyle Shanahan, who's a stickler for the details and all that. And, LaFleur was there and McDaniel was there and all those guys helping him out. But with Sam, that has been a problem at times, the footwork matching what his eyes need to do and taking him in the right place in a progression. And, I've talked about this now multiple times in a couple of different places, but whether it's missing the deep shot to Diami or whether it's the interception that he throws where he's late because he's sitting at the top of his drop for too long as opposed to getting there on time and getting the ball out, those are areas where a guy like Sam has to really work on it. He will. I think he'll get better. But, work in progress and not calling those talents, I think, is underselling the natural comfort level that some people have with that skill set compared to others. All right, continuing on, more comments on Howell. That bruh from 9444. There you go. That's a weird one, Anthony, because 94444 is neither an area code or a zip code. What's a 4-digit? If he's that bruh from 9444, where's he from?
That bruh. It's a great question that I don't.
I was really scared that you're gonna be like, dude, come on. And I was gonna look like a big old dum-dum.
Nah, I don't know.
But if there was one more number, I'd be like, all right, let's check the zip code. If there's one less, I'd check the area code. But it's 9444. There ain't no number identifying numbers that are 4 digits long, as far as I know. Did you Google it?
Something about Virginia came up somehow.
That would make sense.
Fairfax Boulevard? I don't know.
Fairfax. Oh, I was expecting some kind of Virginia Beach something.
Oh no.
Anyway, that guy. Howell is just not ready. Brissett will make this offense look better. Howell holds the ball longer than Heineke. It's because he doesn't go through progressions fast enough yet. He needs to ride the bench with a clipboard and learn more about NFL defenses. No need to rush him. Rodgers sat for 3 seasons, and Love also sat multiple seasons. Anthony, pop quiz. What round in the NFL draft were Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love taken in?
The first.
That is correct. When have you heard of sitting a 5th rounder to wait it out and just see if that guy can play or not?
I don't know.
Where they do that at? Apparently the 9444.
Yeah, apparently.
It's just not a thing. And so, the whole organization doesn't get to sit around and wait on Sam Howell. And frankly, he's not, Brissett's not better. I was there for training camp. On certain days, he probably would be. But Sam's pretty good. He does need to get faster. You want to know the fastest way for him to get faster and getting through progressions? Him playing. So, I don't know. There's just some of the ideas here about where he is currently, I think, are very off, which is weird because that should be the easiest data point. Projecting is hard. Watching is not. Watch. He still threw for 200 yards, had 2 touchdowns accounted for on the day, and made some mistakes that are pretty easy to clean up. Sin City 0003 says, and this one was pretty funny to me because I thought it was going to go in a different direction, but this was in response to 1st and 10. We haven't won more than 10 games in a season since 1991, and we're barely beating tanking teams in 2023. We're winning 7, 8, 9 games for the past 30 years, keeping us in limbo. Last time we won 10 games, we had the 2nd pick because the year before we only had won 5 games and had a top great quarterback. Beating Arizona by 4 points at home after all that hoopla this offseason is a disgrace and lets me know we're going to win around 6 to 9 games like Vegas originally projected we would, again, keeping us in limbo. It depends. If you win 6, first of all, the difference between 6 and 9 is a lot in the NFL. That's the difference between having the 10th pick in the draft and the 18th pick in the draft and being a borderline playoff team. So first of all, don't pretend that 6 and 9 wins in a 17-game season isn't a significant. What is that? Where's my phone? I need a calculator because Lord knows I can't do this math on my own. What is 3 divided by 17? That's 17% of the season. So, yeah, that's a fairly big disparity. But if you win 8-9 games with Sam Howell and he gets better, you're not in limbo because you got your quarterback and you can continue to build off of that. That's the difference between this year and a lot of other years is this year you should be in a growth phase. A lot of other years you're like, no, we're ready to compete right now. 7 wins. Like, that's different. Have a little bit of context. Have a little bit of a wider scope. And by the way, sports should be fun, so you'd probably enjoy that more there in Sin City. RS Swimmer 8445 says, I appreciate the Sam Howell portion. I got too far ahead of myself looking at the physical tools and preseason performance and thought this offense would be flying out of the gate. But as you said, even in the preseason, we seem to get better, even though we were sending out the second team than the third team. We know how to win games with this group, even though it may be ugly. The W is all that matters. Mattered to him, mattered to me. That's why I said the things I said. At Mel Natron, though, says this 4-point win felt like a loss. The freaking out comes from an offseason of hope that we might be good, going up in smoke after seeing the quality of that win. No shot we are hitting double-digit wins. I don't get the negativity, man. Like, they won. That one's in the bag. If you want to get to double digits, now you got to win 9 of 16 as opposed to 10 of 16 because you went 1 for 1 so far. And again, like some people listen to some parts of this and then they ignore the other part where I say in 1st and 10, and I'll say it again here, and I said it earlier in the segment, it's a week-to-week league. So they're going to improve. They're going to get better. How they performed against Arizona is not how they're going to perform all season long. And you want to know how I know this? That it's not a stagnant in terms of performance league? Anthony, you ready for another pop quiz?
Uh-oh.
How did they play last year in the season opener?
Season opener.
Jacksonville.
Oh, we won.
Yeah. Carson Wentz looked good, didn't he?
Yeah, he threw for over 300 yards and 4 tugs.
How'd that go the rest of the year?
Boo-boo. I almost put it on myself. That's how that went.
Yeah, it definitely did. I don't think I have this hooked up to play to the radio, but the stream is going to get this because I have.
He almost pooted on himself.
Yeah, no, the stream got it. The old J.D. McKissick. You don't have it on the board, do you?
I don't.
Damn. All right, last but not least, weirdest comment of the day, brought to you by Noah. At AA Sober Life, this is a journey, bro. You ready for this?
I think so.
I'm going to read this verbatim. The thing I was going to run by you, and I never really picked an accent or an impression. Leave a comment on this video if you made it this far. Let me know what accent or impression I should read the weirdest comment of the weekend. I'm just going to go my normal voice this time. Mahomes lost. Burrows lost. Yeah, Burrows. Mahomes lost. Burrows lost. Josh Allen lost. Sam Howell didn't. Shut up. It's a week-to-week league. Even with that, I miss Taylor. If anyone deserved ownership conversation, it's this dude. He balled his best and did his best. His moxie is up there. Wrong spelling of there. Glad you got paid, boy. You earned it. F the haters.
Wow. He's a Taylor Heineke stan. I mean, we love those guys, you know.
Who apparently thinks Taylor should have gotten a piece of ownership of the team.
Wow. I don't know where to go from there.
I think we go to break.
You might be onto something.
I think that's it. Where do we go from there? I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know what accent or impression I should try to read the weirdest comment of the weekend. I got nothing. That's never read the comments. Leave your comments at Craig Hoffman, at the Team 980, at 1067 The Fan, and we'll do this again next Wednesday at 5:30.
Hey, this is DA, and you're listening to The Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.